my beloved child. Before you scroll away, before another notification steals your attention, before your mind returns to all the worries waiting for you, stay with me for 1 minute. Not because I want to control you, not because I want to judge you. Stay because the answer your heart has been searching for is closer than you think. I know you almost left. I know you have heard many voices today. Voices telling you to hurry, to achieve more, to be stronger, to hide your pain, to keep moving even when your soul is exhausted. But I am not asking you to run. I am asking you to pause. Take a deep breath. Let your shoulders relax for a moment and listen carefully, because this message is not for everyone. It is for the person who feels tired even after sleeping. It is for the person who smiles around others but feels empty when the room becomes quiet. It is for the person who keeps saying, "I'm okay," while secretly wondering how much longer they can carry what they are carrying. My child, I know exactly where you are right now. I know the thoughts that have been circling through your mind. I know the prayer you have repeated so many times that you no longer know what else to say. I know the disappointment that made you stop expecting good news. And I know the fear that whispers, "What if nothing ever changes?" But hear me clearly. Something is changing. Not because you are perfect. Not because you have prayed the right words. Not because you have earned my attention. Something is changing because I have never stopped working in your life, even during the seasons when you thought I was silent. You keep looking for dramatic signs. You keep waiting for a sudden miracle, a loud answer, an obvious breakthrough. Yet many times I begin by speaking gently. I begin with a quiet moment like this. I begin by reaching your heart before I change your circumstances. My beloved child, you have been carrying questions for a long time. Why did that door close? Why did that person leave? Why is this taking so long? Why do I feel forgotten? And because the answer did not come immediately, you started believing that I was distant. But my silence is not my absence. Think about a seed buried in the ground. From the outside, nothing appears to be happening. The soil looks empty. The days pass, the nights pass, and still there is no sign of life. But underneath the surface, roots are growing. Strength is forming. A future is being prepared. You are in a season like that. What you call nothing happening is often preparation that your eyes cannot yet see. I know waiting has become painful for you. You are tired of hoping. Tired of starting over, tired of getting excited only to be disappointed again, tired of wondering whether your prayers are reaching heaven. So let me answer the question you have been afraid to ask. Yes, I hear you. I heard you when you prayed with faith. I heard you when you prayed with doubt. I even heard you when all you could say was, "God, please help me." Not one of those moments was ignored. Not one. You may have forgotten some of those prayers, but I have not. My child, I want you to stop measuring my love by your circumstances. When things go well, you believe I am near. When things become difficult, you assume I have left. But I am with you in both. I was with you when you celebrated. I was with you when you cried in silence. I was with you when you stared at the ceiling late at night, unable to stop thinking. I was with you when you checked your phone, hoping someone would reach out. I was with you when you felt surrounded by people and still felt alone. You are not invisible to me. The world may overlook quiet pain, but I do not. I see the effort you make every day. I see how hard you try to keep going. I see the responsibilities you carry. I see the moments when you want to give up but choose to take one more step. And I want you to hear this without arguing with it. I am proud of you. Not because you have everything figured out. Not because you never struggle. I am proud of you because you are still here. You are still listening, still hoping, still searching for light, even after walking through dark places. Do not call yourself weak because you are tired. Even the strongest people become weary. Being strong does not mean never crying. Being strong means continuing to seek hope even when your heart feels heavy. And you have done that more times than you realize. My beloved child, I know there is something specific on your heart right now. A situation you cannot solve. A decision you do not know how to make. A relationship that confuses you. A future that feels uncertain. You keep asking me for the whole map, but I am giving you the next step. And the next step is this. Stop carrying tomorrow tonight. You do not need to solve your entire future before you sleep. You do not need to have every answer before you move forward. You only need to trust that I am already in the tomorrow that is frightening you. Listen carefully. The answer you are searching for is not hidden from me. I know the right door. I know the right timing. I know what will heal you. I know what will harm you. There are things you have begged me for that would have broken your peace if I had given them too soon. There are people you tried to hold on to whom I had to remove because they could not go where I am leading you. There are delays that are actually protection. One day you will look back and thank me for the doors that did not open. But today, I know it simply feels painful. So I am not asking you to pretend that waiting is easy. I am asking you not to lose hope while you wait. Stay with me for 1 minute longer. Place your hand on your heart. Feel that it is still beating. That heartbeat is a reminder that your story is not finished. If I were done with your life, you would not still be here listening to these words. There is still purpose ahead of you, still healing ahead of you. Still joy ahead of you, still love ahead of you, still a chapter you have not yet seen. And before this part ends, I want you to remember one sentence whenever fear returns. God has not forgotten me. He is preparing what I cannot yet see. Hold on to that tonight. My beloved child, you are still here. That tells me something about your heart. Even after all the disappointment, even after the unanswered prayers, even after the nights when you wondered if anyone truly understood your pain, you are still searching for me. That is not weakness. That is faith refusing to die. Listen to me carefully. The season you are living in right now is not the end of your story. It is the place where I am building the version of you that will be able to carry the blessing you have been asking for. If I gave you everything the moment you asked for it, you would celebrate the gift, but miss the lesson that would protect it. I care too much about your future to rush your journey. My child, I know you have questioned yourself. You have looked in the mirror and wondered if you are enough. You have compared your life to people who seem happier, more successful, more loved, more blessed. And without realizing it, comparison has slowly stolen your peace. But let me remind you of something. I never created you to live someone else's life. I wrote your story before anyone else's opinions could define you. Your path is different because your purpose is different. Stop measuring your progress by someone else's timeline. Some flowers bloom in spring, others bloom in summer. Yet both are beautiful in the season I chose for them. In the same way, your blessing has its own appointed time. Do not believe the lie that you are too late. You are not behind. You are exactly where I can still work in your life. There have been moments when you thought everything was falling apart. But what you called destruction was often my protection. There were conversations I kept you away from. There were opportunities I did not allow because they would have led you into greater pain. There were relationships you cried over losing, not realizing I was saving your heart from wounds you could not yet imagine. Trust me, not every closed door is a punishment. Sometimes a closed door is my hand standing between you and unnecessary heartbreak. You have asked me, Lord, when will I finally receive my answer? My answer has already begun moving toward you. Even now, I am arranging people you have not met. I am opening paths you cannot yet see. I am preparing moments that will make today's confusion finally make sense. You only see today. I see every tomorrow. That is why I ask you to trust my direction more than your emotions, because emotions change with circumstances. My promises do not. My beloved child, I know there are days when fear speaks louder than faith. Fear tells you that nothing will improve. Fear tells you that you have failed too many times. Fear tells you that everyone else is moving forward while you remain stuck. But fear has never spoken my words. I speak hope. I speak life. I speak peace into hearts that are overwhelmed. So today I want you to replace every fearful thought with this truth. I am with you, not yesterday, not only tomorrow, right now, right in the middle of your uncertainty, right in the middle of your waiting, right in the middle of your tears. You do not have to carry this burden by yourself anymore. Lay it before me. You have carried it long enough. My child, there is something I need you to understand. Your breakthrough is not only about receiving what you prayed for. Sometimes the greatest miracle is the person you become while waiting, a heart that forgives, a spirit that remains humble, a faith that refuses to quit. These are treasures the world cannot give you, and they are already growing inside you. So do not despise this season. One day you will realize it prepared you for everything I had planned. Stay close to me. Do not let temporary disappointment convince you to walk away from eternal hope. The answer you are waiting for is closer than you think. Keep listening. My beloved child, before you begin to believe that your waiting has no purpose, let me tell you something that your heart needs to hear today. There is a difference between being delayed and being denied. Many times you have mistaken one for the other. Because the answer did not arrive when you expected, you assumed I had forgotten your prayer. Because the door remained closed, you believed I had rejected you. But my child, my timing has never been controlled by human clocks. I do not move according to your schedule. I move according to what is best for your future. If I answered every prayer immediately, you would never understand how much I was protecting you behind the scenes. There are battles you never had to fight because I fought them before they reached you. There are dangers you never noticed because I quietly redirected your path. There are disappointments that actually rescued you from greater heartbreak. You call them setbacks. I call them protection. My beloved child, think back for a moment. Remember the things you once begged me for. Remember the people you believed you could never live without. Remember the opportunities you thought would solve every problem. Today, many of those things no longer matter. Some of them would have led you away from the life I prepared for you. That is why I sometimes say, not yet. Not because I enjoy watching you wait, but because I love you too much to let temporary desires destroy your permanent purpose. You only see what is directly in front of you. I see the entire journey. I see next month. I see next year. I see the conversations you haven't had yet. I see the doors that are already beginning to open. I see the people who are about to enter your life. And I also see the people who must leave before your blessing arrives. So trust me when I remove what no longer belongs in your story. Do not chase what I have already released from your hands. If I closed that chapter, stop trying to reopen it. The future I have prepared for you cannot be built by living in yesterday. My child, I know forgiveness has been difficult. Some people hurt you without apologizing. Some people broke promises they never intended to keep. Some people walked away as if your heart meant nothing. And part of you still asks, why did they treat me this way? Listen carefully. Do not let another person's choices convince you that you have no value. The way someone treated you says more about their heart than yours. Your worth has never depended on human approval. Your value was established long before anyone accepted or rejected you. You are precious because I created you, not because people applauded you, not because people stayed, not because everything worked out perfectly. You belong to me, and nothing can change that. My beloved child, stop speaking defeat over your own life. I hear the words you whisper when no one else is around. I'm not good enough. Maybe it's too late. Nothing ever changes. Perhaps this is all my life will be. Those words were never spoken by me. I have never called you hopeless. I have never called you forgotten. I have never called you a failure. Those are the voices of fear trying to become louder than my promises. Do not repeat what fear says. Repeat what I say. I say you are loved. I say you are chosen. I say your future still holds hope. I say your story is still being written. My beloved child, do not underestimate the power of one faithful step. You keep looking for giant miracles while ignoring the small victories happening around you. The fact that you woke up today is not an accident. The fact that you are listening to these words is not an accident. I have been drawing you closer because I want to prepare you before I promote you. Character always comes before calling. Faithfulness always comes before favor. Trust always comes before testimony. The blessing you desire is coming. But I care even more about the person you become when it arrives, because blessings without wisdom can disappear. Success without humility can destroy a soul. That is why I am strengthening your heart first. I am teaching you to depend on me instead of circumstances. I am teaching you to find peace before the miracle appears. Because when your peace depends only on good news, it will disappear the moment life becomes difficult. But when your peace comes from me, nothing in this world can steal it. So lift your head, my child. Do not let today's struggle define tomorrow's story. You have cried enough. You have questioned enough. Now begin expecting my goodness again. Not because life is suddenly perfect, but because I am still working. Even when you cannot see my hands, you can trust my heart. And I want you to remember this truth wherever you go today. The answer is not getting farther away. With every step you take in faith, it is getting closer. Stay with me, my beloved child. The reason the enemy has been fighting your mind so fiercely is because he cannot stop what I have already planned for your life. He cannot erase the purpose I placed within you. He cannot rewrite the promises I have spoken over you. But he knows one thing. If he can convince you to quit before your breakthrough arrives, he doesn't have to steal your blessing. You will walk away from it yourself. That is why your greatest battle has never been against people. It has never been against your circumstances. It has always been the battle inside your mind. Every day you wake up with two voices competing for your attention. One voice whispers fear. The other whispers faith. One tells you that nothing will ever change. The other reminds you that I am still working, even when you cannot see my hands. The voice you choose to believe will shape the direction of your life. So today, I ask you, stop feeding the voice that keeps telling you to give up. Feed your faith instead. Remember every prayer I have already answered. Remember every difficult season I have already brought you through. Remember the moments when you thought there was no way forward, yet somehow I made a way. If I remained faithful then, why would I abandon you now, my child? I have never started a good work without planning to finish it. The story of your life is still being written. Do not judge the entire book by one difficult chapter. Some chapters are painful, some chapters are confusing, some chapters make no sense while you are living them, but every chapter has a purpose. And the chapter you are in right now is preparing the next one. You have been asking me for clarity, yet before I give clarity, I often build trust. Because if you only follow me when everything makes sense, your faith will never grow. Real faith is trusting me when the path ahead is hidden. It is believing my promises while the evidence has not yet appeared. That is the kind of faith that moves mountains. My beloved child, I know there are moments when loneliness feels overwhelming. You look around and wonder why so few people understand what you are carrying. You wish someone could truly see your heart. But let me remind you of something beautiful, even when no one else understands your tears. I understand every one of them. I know the tears you cried in silence. I know the prayers you whispered when no one was listening. I know the fears you have never spoken aloud. Nothing about your life is hidden from me, not your pain, not your questions, not your hopes, not your future. I know it all. And because I know it all, you can trust me with it all. My child, there are blessings already moving toward you that you cannot yet recognize. Some are arriving through opportunities, some through unexpected conversations, some through closed doors that are protecting you from the wrong path, and some are arriving because I am changing you before I change your circumstances. Never underestimate what I am doing inside your heart. A peaceful heart is a greater blessing than temporary success. A faithful spirit is worth more than quick applause. I am not only preparing your future, I am preparing you for your future. That preparation is not punishment. It is proof that I have not forgotten you. So do not stop now. Do not let discouragement speak the final word. Do not let one disappointing season convince you that your whole life will remain the same. The sunrise is always closest when the night feels longest. In the same way, your answer is nearer than your fear wants you to believe. So keep walking with me. Keep praying. Keep trusting. Keep believing. My beloved child, now that you understand I have never left your side, there is one more truth I need you to embrace. You cannot step into the future I have prepared while holding tightly to the weight of your past. I know letting go is difficult. I know some memories still hurt. I know there are moments you replay in your mind, wishing you could change what happened. You wonder, what if I had made a different decision? What if I had trusted the wrong person? What if I had missed my only chance? But listen carefully. The past may explain your pain, but it does not have permission to control your future. I am not the God of missed opportunities. I am the God of new beginnings. Even when people believe your story is over, I have the power to write another chapter. My beloved child, stop carrying guilt for things I have already forgiven. You keep punishing yourself for mistakes that I have already covered with my mercy. You keep reopening wounds that I have been trying to heal. Every time I call you forward, fear keeps pulling you backward. But today I am asking you to release what has been weighing down your heart. Release the disappointment. Release the regret. Release the bitterness. Release the need to understand every unanswered question. You do not have to carry what I never asked you to carry. Place it in my hands. Let me carry the burden that has been stealing your peace. My child, have you noticed how fear always speaks about tomorrow? It whispers, what if everything falls apart? What if you fail again? What if nothing changes? Fear lives in imaginary futures, but my peace lives in the present. That is why I keep calling you back to this moment. Stay with me, right here, right now. Do not allow tomorrow's worries to steal today's strength. I have already gone before you. I am already standing in the tomorrow that frightens you. Nothing waiting ahead will surprise me. Nothing will catch me unprepared. So why are you trying to carry a future that already rests safely in my hands? My beloved child, you have been praying for a sign. Perhaps this message is not the sign you expected, but maybe it is the sign you needed. Because before I change your circumstances, I often change your perspective. The miracle begins the moment your heart starts believing again. The breakthrough begins the moment fear loses its grip on your mind. The answer begins the moment you trust me, even without seeing the entire path. Do not underestimate small acts of faith. One prayer can change a life. One decision can change a future. One moment of obedience can open a door that no human being can close. That is why I asked you to stay with me for 1 minute. Not because I needed your attention, but because your heart needed my reminder. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are not walking through this season by yourself. I have been holding you every step of the way. Even when you thought you were walking alone, it was my strength carrying you. My child, the answer you have been searching for is not found in panic. It is found in my presence. The peace you desire is not found in having every solution. It is found in trusting the one who already knows every solution. So stop rushing ahead. Stop trying to force doors open. Stop believing that you have been left behind. Everything I have promised will arrive at the right time. Not one moment too early. Not one moment too late. And when it comes, you will understand why I asked you to wait. You will understand why I asked you to trust. You will understand why I never answered according to your schedule. Because my plan was always greater than your expectations. So lift your eyes once more. Take another step in faith. Leave your worries with me tonight. And remember this truth whenever doubt tries to return. What I have prepared for you is greater than what you have lost. Keep listening, my beloved child. My beloved child, now your heart is beginning to understand why I asked you to stay with me. Not because I wanted 1 minute of your time, but because I wanted to remind you of something the world has been trying to make you forget. You belong to me. Long before your failures discouraged you, I chose you long before you ever called my name in prayer. I already knew yours. That is why nothing in your life has happened outside of my sight. Nothing has escaped my attention. Not your tears, not your silent battles, not the dreams you've hidden deep inside your heart because you were afraid they would never come true. I have seen them all. And, my beloved child, I have never stopped working. Even when you believed heaven was silent, heaven was moving. Even when you thought your prayers had reached a dead end, I was already preparing the answer. Sometimes, my greatest miracles begin in complete silence. A tree grows quietly. A child grows quietly. The sunrise begins before anyone notices the light. In the same way, the miracle you have been praying for has already begun, even if you cannot yet see it with your eyes. This is why I tell you, do not give up one step before the breakthrough. Many people quit because they judge my work too early. They leave the field just before the harvest. They stop praying just before the answer. They stop believing just before the door opens. Do not make that mistake. Stay faithful. Stay hopeful. Stay close to me, because what I have prepared for you is worth every moment you have spent waiting, my child. There will always be voices around you. Some will tell you that your faith is foolish. Some will tell you to stop hoping. Some will laugh at your patience because they only believe what they can see. But remember, people can only see your present. I can see your future. They judge your current chapter. I already know how your story ends. So whose voice will you believe? The voice is filled with fear, or the one who has loved you from the very beginning? Choose my voice. Every single day, choose my peace over panic. Choose my promises over doubt. Choose my truth over fear. Because every choice you make to trust me weakens the chains that fear has placed around your heart. My beloved child, you have asked me many times, Lord, when will I finally see the answer? My answer is this: sooner than you think, not because I am following your schedule, but because the work I have been doing in you is almost complete. I have been strengthening your faith, teaching your heart patience, removing distractions that would have stolen your purpose, separating you from things that could never go where I am taking you. Every painful goodbye, every unexpected delay, every unanswered question has been shaping you for the blessing that is coming. One day, you will look back at this season and realize that nothing was wasted, not one tear, not one prayer, not one lonely night. I was collecting every moment, turning every disappointment into preparation, turning every delay into protection, turning every hardship into strength. That is what I do. I bring beauty out of brokenness, hope out of despair, purpose out of pain, life out of what seemed impossible. So, my beloved child, walk into tomorrow with confidence, not because you know exactly what will happen, but because you know who is walking beside you. You do not need to carry fear anymore. You do not need to carry yesterday anymore. You do not need to keep asking whether I have forgotten you. The answer has always been the same. I never have, and I never will. So keep your eyes on me. Keep your heart open. Keep believing, because the promise I placed over your life has not changed. It is still alive. It is still moving toward you. And nothing can stop what I have decided to bring into your life. Stay with me just a little longer, my beloved child. If you have stayed with me until this moment, then I want you to know something very important. This was never just about 1 minute. It was about reminding you that no matter how noisy the world becomes, my voice is still calling your name. You came here searching for an answer. Perhaps you expected me to give you a date, a specific miracle, or a detailed explanation for everything that has happened in your life. But my greatest answer has always been my presence. Because when you have me, you have hope when everything else seems hopeless. You have peace when the world is filled with fear. You have strength when your own strength begins to fail. My beloved child, there will still be difficult days ahead. There will still be moments when questions remain unanswered. There will still be seasons where your faith is tested. But you do not have to fear those days anymore, because now you know something you didn't fully understand before. You will never walk through them alone. I will be beside you in every battle. I will strengthen you when your heart grows weary. I will comfort you when tears become your only language. I will guide you when the path ahead seems uncertain. I will open the right doors, and I will close the wrong ones, even when you do not understand my decisions. Trust my heart, because everything I do comes from love. My child, I never promised you a life without storms, but I did promise that the storm would never be stronger than my presence with you. When fear knocks on your heart, remember my promises. When doubt whispers lies, remember my truth. When loneliness surrounds you, remember that I am closer than your very next breath. There is no mountain too high for me, no valley too deep, no mistake too great, no broken heart beyond my healing. no dream beyond my power. Nothing in your life is impossible when it is placed into my hands. So today, leave your worries with me. Leave your fears with me. Leave your future with me. Stop carrying burdens I never asked you to carry. Rest in my peace. Walk in my love. Trust my timing. And keep moving forward one faithful step at a time. One day, very soon, you will look back at this season that once made you cry, and you will smile, not because the pain wasn't real, but because you will finally understand that I was working every single moment. Every delay had a purpose. Every closed door had protection behind it. Every tear became a seed for future joy. Nothing was wasted, not a single prayer, not a single night of waiting, not a single moment you spent trusting me. I have been weaving everything together for your good in ways you could not see. So before this message ends, I want you to carry one promise in your heart every day. Whenever fear tries to return, whenever discouragement whispers that nothing is changing, whenever you feel forgotten, remember these words. I am with you. I have not forgotten you. Your answer is on its way, and my plan for your life is greater than anything you can imagine. Hold on to that promise.